This is a homework problem. I didn't write the problem number, but of course it's in 2.3 where they give you f of x equals the square root of 1 minus 5x, x naught equals negative 7, and epsilon equals 0.6. And they ask you two questions. They ask you, what's the limit, and what's the smallest delta? So, and this is where I said you're going to get to a point where you can't just see, you can't center it by just looking at it. And so this is a great example of one. All right, so the first question is, what's the limit? 1. Did y'all say 1? Oh, yeah, it's early, I know. All right. So how are they finding the limit? They're shaboo. And so if you plug that in, you get 1 minus 5 times negative 7, which is the square root of 30. Good gosh. I lied. I didn't go out and buy a new stylus. So the square root of 36, which is 6. So we need that to now start this whole shebang. F of x minus L less than epsilon. And so now I'm going to go ahead and just in one step get rid of my absolute values, meaning I'm going to do the minus 0.6. My f of x is the square root of 1 minus 5x. We just found the limit, and then plus 0.6. All right, so this is one of these that hopefully you kind of are getting this system down that you're just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over, meaning that all you're going to do is look here in the middle and get rid of the isolate the x basically. And like I said before, this is to the point now where all you're doing is algebra. Okay. I'm hoping that what you're doing, you're understanding what you're doing, and I'll show it graphically here in a minute. But hopefully your algebra skills are strong enough to be able to do this. So this is what, 5.4? It is early, so watch my math because I just worked this morning. And then this is 6.6. Now you have a square root. I would square everything. Square, 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 and I got what, 29.16, 1 minus 5x, and then 43.56. So if these steps right here you're struggling, then we just need to, practice more with your algebra. And then I probably would subtract 1, all the pieces, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So I get 28.16 minus 5x, and then 42.56. And now this is a part that you remember when you divide with inequalities by negative number. Yeah, flip all those signs. So I'm dividing by negative 5, dividing by negative 5, dividing by negative 5, and I'm flipping my signs. All right, so I got, what did I get? Negative 5.632, x, and negative 8.512. Just because we kind of like to have the smaller value on the left, I'm just going to rewrite this. It's just kind of how our eyes are used to seeing that. Okay, so all I did was just turn everything around, so it's the same thing. And like I mentioned last time, technically you're through, okay, in the real world, but in here we haven't, and let me say before I move forward, somewhere way, 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 way up there, you need to always, this step, make sure your x naught is even in that interval, okay? And this is important, is that I mean, otherwise you get so caught up in all these algebra steps, you don't even know what you're doing anymore, okay? And we have to make sure that this is in this interval. Well, this is our step 1, and now step 2 is where we're going to center it within the interval. So step 2 is where we have our x minus x naught less than delta. Okay, whereas you can see our x naught is -7. So let me do the minus delta less than x plus 7 less than delta. So all I did was plug in -7 there. Now subtract 7 from all 3 pieces. So I get, I don't know, however you want to write this, -7 minus delta and delta minus 7. And this is where you're going to match, and this is why it's kind of nice to turn these around. You're going to match the lower, you're going to set it equal to the lower value in my x interval. The upper, you're going to set equal to that. And see which distance, where distance is absolute value, so we don't care if they're negative, which one's smaller. So -7 minus delta equals -8.512. Our delta equals 1.512. And then delta minus 7 equals -5.632. Or delta equals -0.1368. And again, it's absolute value. And so that's without the minus sign, okay? When you answer the question, delta is the distance. Okay, so distance being absolute value is we get 1.368, and that's your answer. Okay, and again, you're going to see some more. That's all we're going to do is work these today. You're going to see some more examples like this, but probably to me the big things to remember was the switching of the signs up here. Oh man, check this out. I have found out I've got like lasers. Isn't that awesome? Woohoo! I just found that out. Okay, so we're just going to play with lasers today. You know what would be really cool is if I could laser something and it would like cut it in half. Okay, that wouldn't be that cool. All right, so what I would do, and I think I got things written where maybe I can see it, so that's probably good enough for that.